The night Oluchi's life cracked open did not begin with shouting. It began with a soft vibration on her bedside table. Her twin daughters, Adaizi and Adana, were already asleep, their tiny bodies curled like commas on the bed in their room. The ceiling fan hummed gently. The air smelled of baby lotion and the rice she had cooked earlier, the one her husband had eaten with gratitude like it was a feast. Oluchi lay beside her husband, Chibuzor, in their modest, neat apartment in Alca, Anambra State. Chibuzor's hand rested on her waist, protective, familiar, warm. "You're thinking again," he said, eyes still closed, voice sleepy. Oluchi forced a small laugh. "I'm not thinking." But she was. She had been thinking for months, thinking about her friends, their expensive wigs, their designer bags, their weekend trips to Lagos, their hotel brunches, their captions that always sounded like victory. Soft life. That word had started to feel like a hunger inside her, and then her phone vibrated again. Unknown number. She ignored it. It rang again immediately. Chibuzor opened his eyes. "Answer it. It might be important." Oluchi sat up, picked the call, and whispered, "Hello?" A male voice responded, low, calm, smooth like a politician's speech. "Oluchi Nwafor?" Her stomach tightened. Only official people called her by her full name. "Yes. This is Obiora Ezenwa." Oluchi blinked hard. Obiora? Her chest tightened the way it used to tighten in university whenever she heard that name. Her ex, the one everyone said would become great, the one she loved recklessly when she was younger, the one who disappeared suddenly and returned with a different kind of confidence. "The governor's son," he added, as if the name alone should be enough to make her stand. Oluchi's mouth went dry. Chibuzor sat up now, watching her face. Obiora continued, his voice gentle. "I've been looking for you for a long time." Oluchi swallowed. "Why?" There was a pause. Then he said, almost like a whisper, "I saw you today, with your husband." Oluchi's body turned cold. You saw me?" "Yes," Obiora said softly. "And I realized something. I made a mistake leaving you. A big one." Oluchi's fingers trembled. Chibuzor's eyes narrowed. "Who is that?" Oluchi covered the phone and whispered, It's someone from school." Obiora's voice came back, stronger now. "Oluchi, I'm not calling to disturb your peace. I'm calling because I want to correct my past." Oluchi's throat tightened. "Obiora, I'm married." "I know," he replied calmly. "That's why I'm calling at night. I want to talk to you without noise." Oluchi felt like she couldn't breathe. Obiora continued, slow and persuasive. "I'm coming to Anambra this weekend. I want to see you. Just to talk. No drama." Her heart hammered. Then he dropped a sentence that landed like a stone. "I heard you're struggling." Oluchi stiffened. "How?" "I hear things," he said. "I know you married a good man. A kind man. But kindness doesn't pay school fees. Kindness doesn't buy land. Kindness doesn't give your daughters the life they deserve." Oluchi's eyes prickled with tears she didn't expect. Because he was saying what her heart had been whispering to her. Chibuzor was loving, but their life was slow, and her pride was tired of waiting. Obiora's voice softened again. "Oluchi, you don't have to suffer." He paused. "I can change your story." Oluchi felt her heart twist. Then the call ended. Oluchi stared at the screen like it had bitten her. Chibuzor spoke gently. "Who was it?" Oluchi opened her mouth, but no words came out. And in that silence, something dangerous began. The next morning, Oluchi moved around the house like a shadow. She cooked pap for the twins. She packed Chibuzor's small lunch, rice and beans in a plastic container. She kissed him goodbye at the door. "God will do it," he said as usual, squeezing her hands. "Something will break soon. I feel it." Oluchi smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. As he left, she looked at his back. And for the first time in her marriage, she thought something she had never allowed herself to think. What if it never breaks? Later that afternoon, her phone buzzed again. This time, it wasn't Obiora. It was her best friend, Chinenye, calling on video. Chinenye's face filled the screen, makeup flawless, lashes long, background showing what looked like a hotel room with white curtains and bright daylight. "Oluchi?" Chinenye screamed, excited. "My baby! Guess where I am?" Oluchi forced a smile. "Where?" Chinenye turned the camera. A large pool, blue water, sunbeds, a waiter in uniform. Oluchi's stomach sank. "This is life," Chinenye said, laughing. "Soft life is sweet, ooh. My husband just surprised me with this weekend getaway." Oluchi nodded slowly. Chinenye leaned closer. "You sound dry. What's up?" Oluchi hesitated. Then she whispered, "Obiora called me." Chinenye froze for 1 second. Then her eyes widened. "Your Obiora? The Obiora that is now a governor's son?" Oluchi's voice was small. "Yes," Chinenye almost screamed. "Jesus! Oluchi, do you know what this means?" Oluchi didn't answer. Chinenye lowered her voice dramatically. "My friend, let me talk to you like your sister." Oluchi listened. "Life is not promise and potential," Chinenye said. "Life is reality. See you, fine girl, intelligent, beautiful. You are using your beauty to manage struggle." Oluchi's heart tightened. Chinenye continued, "That your husband, he is nice. But niceness doesn't remove you from suffering. 2 children, twins. Are you not tired?" Oluchi felt her eyes sting. Chinenye spoke like someone reading Oluchi's diary. "I know he loves you. But love without provision is stress." Oluchi's throat tightened. "Chinenye, he is trying." Chinenye waved her hand. "Trying has an expiry date, my sister." Oluchi breathed out slowly. Then Chinenye said what truly planted the seed deeper. "Oluchi, some doors knock only once." Oluchi blinked. "If Obiora is calling you now, it means your season is changing." Oluchi whispered. "But I'm married." Chinenye leaned forward, voice firm. "Listen, marriage is not prison. If you stay there and suffer, who will clap for you? Your twins will grow and ask you why you struggled when you had a chance to escape." Oluchi's stomach twisted. Chinenye continued, softer now. "I'm not telling you to be evil. I'm telling you to be wise. Go and see him. Just talk. Hear what he has to offer." Oluchi stared. Chinenye added, "And let's be honest, you still have feelings for him." Oluchi's lips trembled. Because it was true. She didn't love him the way she loved Chibuzor, but Obiora was a wound that never fully healed. That evening, as Oluchi swept the living room, her eyes landed on Chibuzor's framed NYSC photo on the wall. He looked younger there, hopeful, determined. And she remembered what he told her when they had nothing. "Oluchi, we will build our life slowly. I may not be rich now, but I will be stable, I promise." Oluchi's chest tightened. Promises. Waiting. Slow life. She looked at the broom in her hand, and the word soft life rang inside her head like a drum. Obiora chose a place that felt like a movie scene, a quiet lounge in Auca with dim lights, polished floors, and men in suits who looked like they never checked price tags. Oluchi arrived in a simple gown, but she had tried. She wore her best wig, her best perfume, her best smile. Still, she felt like she didn't belong. As she stepped in, a man stood up from the far corner. Tall, clean, expensive. His wristwatch alone looked like it could pay her rent for a year. "Oluchi," he said, smiling. Her heart stopped. It was him, but also not him. The boy she dated in university had returned as something else, someone who carried himself like he owned the air. "Obiora," she whispered. He hugged her, and Oluchi felt something dangerous. Not love, not exactly, but nostalgia mixed with temptation. They sat. A waiter appeared immediately. Obiora didn't even look at the menu. "Anything she wants?" he said. Oluchi's cheeks warmed. Obiora leaned forward. "I won't waste your time," he said, voice calm. "I want you back." Oluchi laughed nervously. "Obiora, I'm married." "I know," he replied, "but I'm telling you I'm ready now." Oluchi swallowed. "Ready for what?" "For responsibility," he said. "For marriage, for family, for you." Oluchi's breath caught. He continued, speaking like someone who had rehearsed. "I heard you married a man that loves you. That's good." He paused. "But love is not enough." Oluchi looked away. Obiora added quietly, "Your daughters deserve more." That sentence hit her like a slap. "How do you know about my daughters?" Obiora smiled slightly. "Oluchi, I told you. I hear things." The way he said it made her uneasy. Then he reached into his pocket and dropped something on the table. A black card. No bank name written boldly, just a simple logo. "This is for you," he said. Oluchi stared. "What is it?" "A card connected to an account that doesn't run dry," he replied casually. "Use it. No permission. No begging. No waiting." Oluchi's fingers trembled as she touched it. You're serious?" Obiora's eyes held hers. "Oluchi, you're too beautiful to be managing life. Your mates are enjoying. You are counting coins. Is that fair?" Oluchi swallowed hard. Then Obiora's voice dropped. "And I don't like the idea of another man touching you." Oluchi stiffened. He smiled as if it was romantic, but something about the sentence felt like a warning. Obiora continued, "I'm coming for you, Oluchi. Not forcefully, not violently." He leaned closer. "But understand, once you choose me, there is no going back." Oluchi laughed nervously. "Obiora, you're joking." He didn't laugh back. Then he placed a small gift bag beside her. "Open it," he said. Oluchi opened it slowly. Inside was a small box, a diamond necklace. Her throat tightened. Obiora smiled. "I want you to look like the woman you truly are." Oluchi's eyes filled with tears. She wasn't crying because of the necklace. She was crying because her heart had started moving ahead of her mind. And deep inside, she already knew. This meeting wasn't just a meeting. It was the beginning of a decision that would destroy something good. As Oluchi walked out later, the night air felt cold. She held the gift bag tightly, and her phone rang. It was Chibuzor. "My love," he said warmly. "How are you? I miss you. Did you eat?" Oluchi's throat tightened. She looked at the diamond in the bag. She looked at the black card. Then she lied softly. "I'm fine. I'm at home." Oluchi did not leave her marriage suddenly. She drifted away from it, one slow decision at a time. After that night at the lounge, something inside her shifted. She still cooked for Chibuzor, still bathed the twins, still laughed at his jokes. But her laughter now arrived late. Her mind wandered. Her phone became a secret place. Obiora began calling every day, never loud, never aggressive, just constant. "Did you eat? Send me a picture of you. I'm in Aka today. I'm flying out tomorrow." Money started appearing in her account without explanation. At first, Oluchi panicked. "Obiora, I can't take this," she whispered over the phone one afternoon while the twins napped. He laughed softly. "You're not taking anything? You're collecting what should have been yours long ago." She bought groceries without checking prices. She paid the twins' school fees early. She sent money to her mother in the village without calculating how much would remain. And for the first time in years, she did not feel afraid of the next month. That feeling was intoxicating, but guilt followed closely behind. One night, Chibuzor came home excited. "Oluchi," he said, breathless, "I got shortlisted." Her heart jumped. "For which job?" "The logistics firm in Onitsha. he said, smiling widely. They said my interview went well. They'll call me back soon. He hugged her tightly. Oluchi froze in his arms. She smiled, but inside her chest, something cracked. Instead of joy, she felt panic, because for the first time, Chibuzor's success felt like an obstacle. That night, while he slept, Oluchi cried quietly. She cried because she knew the truth. She no longer wanted to wait. The day Oluchi decided to leave, rain fell heavily. The twins were at school. The house was unusually quiet. Oluchi sat on the edge of the bed, hands folded, eyes swollen. Chibuzor stood opposite her. "What is going on?" he asked softly. "You've been distant." Oluchi swallowed. "There's something I need to say." Chibuzor nodded. "Go on." She struggled to look at him. I don't think I'm happy anymore." Chibuzor blinked. "What?" Tears filled her eyes. "I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of managing." He stepped closer. "Oluchi, we're getting there. You know that." She shook her head. "I've been hearing that for years." His voice cracked. "Are you saying I don't try?" "No," she said quickly. "You try. You're kind. You're good." He stared at her, confused. "Then what is the problem?" She whispered the words that would haunt her forever. "I want more." Silence, heavy, painful. Chibuzor sat down slowly. "Is there someone else?" he asked quietly. Oluchi hesitated. That hesitation answered everything. Chibuzor's shoulders slumped. "After everything?" he asked. "After the twins?" Oluchi covered her face. "I'm sorry." He didn't shout. He didn't insult her. He just nodded slowly. "If this is what you want," he said, voice breaking, "I won't force you." When Oluchi packed her bags, the twins cried. "Mummy, where are you going?" Adais asked. Oluchi hugged them tightly. "I'll come back soon," she lied. Chibuzor stood by the door watching. When she stepped out, he said one last thing. "Oluchi, I hope what you're running to is worth what you're leaving." She didn't answer. She couldn't. Obiora's house was not a home. It was a fortress. Security men everywhere, cameras watching silently. The compound alone was larger than Oluchi's entire former apartment building. As the gates closed behind her, Oluchi felt a strange chill, but she ignored it. This is soft life, she reminded herself. Inside, everything was perfect. White walls, expensive furniture, quiet air conditioning. Obiora walked ahead confidently. "Welcome," he said. "This is your new life and your new home, my wife." At first, it felt like a dream. New clothes arrived daily. Stylists visited, hairdressers, makeup artists. She attended events beside Obiora, political dinners, private parties. People greeted her respectfully. "Madam," governor's in-law. Oluchi's phone buzzed constantly with messages from friends. "You made it. You're lucky." But slowly, the rules began. "Don't post pictures without asking me," Obiora said casually one evening. "Why?" she asked, laughing lightly. He smiled. "My life is sensitive." Another day. "Don't answer unknown calls." Then, "You don't need to visit your old friends anymore." She frowned. "Why?" "They talk too much," he replied calmly. When she mentioned the twins, his face hardened. "They'll stay with their father for now," he said. "My life doesn't need noise." Her chest tightened. "But they're my children." Obiora's voice sharpened slightly. "Don't push me." That night, she heard strange sounds. Obiora locked himself in a room. Music blared, voices laughed, then silence. He emerged hours later, eyes red, jaw tight. She asked gently, "Are you okay?" He snapped, "Go to bed." Fear crawled into her chest. The next morning, she found pills in the bathroom. She stared at them. Her hands shook. The first time Obiora hit her, it wasn't dramatic. She questioned him about money. He moved suddenly. He laughed. She insisted. He stood up and slapped her. Once. The room went silent. Oluchi froze. Obiora stared at his hand like he was surprised. Then he said quietly, "Don't challenge me." He walked out. Oluchi sank to the floor, shaking. She touched her cheek. What have I entered into? She wondered. But when he returned later with gifts and apologies, she convinced herself it was stress. He didn't mean it. And so the prison door closed softly. The truth revealed itself slowly, then all at once. Obiora's nights grew longer. Stranger men visited. Conversation stopped when she entered rooms. Once she overheard a phone call. "No evidence, clear it." Her heart pounded. Another night, police sirens wailed outside the gate. Security men moved fast. Obiora dragged her into a room. "Stay here. Don't ask questions." Her body trembled. The next morning, the news whispered about crimes linked to powerful families. Her stomach churned. Then one evening, she saw it clearly. Obiora returned home unstable, eyes wild, voice sharp. He accused her of disrespect, of spying, of weakness. She tried to calm him. He pushed her hard. She fell. Her head hit the floor. She tasted blood. That was when she knew. This was not marriage. This was danger. Later that night, while he slept, Oluchi locked herself in the bathroom and cried silently. She thought of Chibuzor, his gentle voice, the way he held the twins, the peace she once complained about. Her phone buzzed, a message from Chibuzor. Oluchi stared at her phone until the screen dimmed. "The girls asked about you today. I told them you're okay. Chibuzor." The message didn't accuse her. That was what broke her. If he had insulted her, she could have become angry and used anger as a pillow. But Chibuzor's calmness was like a mirror showing her exactly what she had done, without words. Oluchi's throat tightened. Her eyes filled. She pressed her palm to her mouth so her sob wouldn't escape and wake Obiora. In the bathroom mirror, her face looked expensive, but tired. She was wearing designer nightwear, standing in a bathroom bigger than her former kitchen. Yet she felt like a prisoner. She whispered shakily, "God, where did I enter?" 2 nights later, Obiora insisted she accompany him to a private gathering in Oka, an elite event where men smiled with their lips and hid their intentions with their eyes. Oluchi dressed beautifully. A stylist did her makeup until she looked like a magazine cover. As they arrived, cameras flashed. Women stared. Some admired, some envied. Obiora placed his hand around her waist, not lovingly, possessively, and whispered, "Smile. No mistakes." Inside, Oluchi noticed something. Every time she opened her mouth to speak, Obiora's fingers tightened slightly on her waist. Every time she laughed too freely, his eyes darkened. At one point, a woman approached, one of Oluchi's soft life friends, Chinenye, with sparkling earrings and a wide smile. "My baby!" Chinenye exclaimed. "Oluchi, see you!" Oluchi felt relief, like she had met a familiar tree in a strange forest. Chinenye hugged her, but her hug was stiff. Her eyes darted around. Oluchi whispered, "Please, let's talk later." Chinenye smiled too hard. "Of course, we will." But when Oluchi turned to Obiora, she saw his expression. Cold, like someone counting. That night, on their way home, he asked casually, "Why did she talk to you like that?" Oluchi laughed nervously. "She's my friend." Obiora's voice was light but dangerous. "I don't like people getting too close to what belongs to me." Oluchi's blood ran cold. The next week, Oluchi woke up earlier than usual and walked downstairs quietly. She heard voices, male voices, inside Obiora's private office. She was about to return upstairs when she heard her name. "Oluchi is not a problem," someone said. "She's quiet." Another voice laughed. "Quiet women still have mouths." Obiora replied, sharp and calm. "Her mouth is not for public, it's for home." Oluchi froze. Her stomach turned. Her feet backed away silently. Later that evening, she tried to speak carefully. "Obiora, Why do people come at night and leave before morning? Obiora didn't even look at her. You are asking too many questions. But I'm your... He slammed a glass on the table. Oluchi jumped. He stared at her like she was small. I married you, he said slowly. Not because I need advice. Oluchi's lips trembled. And don't enter my office again, he added. Her heart sank. I said don't, he repeated. That was the day Oluchi realized. This house had rules, not love. The day she saw it, it happened like a nightmare that looked ordinary. Obiora had returned late, unusually energetic, talking fast, pacing, sweating slightly even though the air conditioner was cold. Oluchi offered him water. He ignored it. He went straight to the bathroom and locked the door. A few minutes later, she heard a strange sound, a short sniffing sound, repeated, like someone trying to pull something quickly into their nose. Her heart pounded. She stepped closer, trying not to panic. Obiora, she called gently. Are you okay? No answer. Then she heard the tap running as if he was trying to wash something away. When he finally opened the door, his eyes were red, his mood unpredictable. Oluchi forced a smile. You look stressed. Maybe you should rest. Obiora stared at her, then smiled suddenly, too wide. You want to control me? He asked softly. Oluchi shook her head quickly. No. I'm just concerned. He walked past her. But when she entered the bathroom to fetch her towel, she saw it. A small folded paper on the sink, a rolled currency note, and faint traces of a strange white powder like flour, but not flour. Oluchi's knees weakened. Her breath caught. She stood there for a long time, staring, praying it wasn't what her mind was screaming it was. She cleaned it quickly, hands shaking. When she came out, Obiora was sitting calmly, scrolling through his phone like nothing happened. Oluchi sat opposite him, her voice trembling. Obiora, that powder... Obiora's face changed immediately. He stood up, slowly, his voice dropped. You want to destroy me? Oluchi's eyes widened. No, I'm your wife. I'm scared. He stepped closer. Listen carefully, he said. In this house, fear is not your job. Silence is. Oluchi swallowed hard. That night she didn't sleep. Meanwhile, Chibuzor did not collapse after Oluchi left. He suffered, but quietly. The first few months was the hardest. The twins cried at night. Sometimes they cried in turns, like a relay. Mummy will come. Chibuzor lied softly, rubbing their backs. He became mother and father. He learned how to plait their hair. Badly at first. He woke at 4:30 a.m. every day. He would boil water, prepare their breakfast, iron their uniforms, help them with socks, pack their lunch, check their homework. Then he would carry one on his left hand, the other holding his shirt, rushing to drop them at school. From there, he went to work. Because something had changed after the heartbreak, Chibuzor became fiercely focused. He got the Onitsha logistics job, then improved rapidly. He used nights to learn extra skills. He joined a professional group. He built connections. He started a small side business delivering goods for sellers using weekends. But success came with stress. After work, he still had to pick the girls. He would stand at the school gate, tired, smiling. "Daddy!" they would scream, running into his arms. He would carry them home, cook, wash, help with homework, sleep late, repeat. Sometimes he would sit on the floor after they slept, staring into space, wondering how long his body could survive the routine. A friend at work, Ikenna, watched him one day and said, "Guy, you are trying, but you will break." Chibuzor smiled tiredly. "I can handle it." Ikenna shook his head. "You need help, not a house girl, not a random nanny. You need a woman with a heart." Chibuzor frowned. "I'm not interested in marriage again." Ikenna leaned closer. "It's not for romance first. It's for the children, for your sanity, for your home." Chibuzor resisted for months. But one day, he fell asleep at the office toilet. That scared him. That was when he agreed to meet someone. Slowly, carefully. Her name was Amara, a calm, gentle woman, a teacher, respectful, kind, not loud. She met the twins and didn't force herself on them. She simply showed up. She helped. She listened. With time, Adais and Adana began to soften. One evening, Adaize whispered to Chibuzor, "Daddy, Auntie Amara is nice." That night, Chibuzor cried quietly. Not because he had moved on, but because he realized peace could return. Chibuzor married Amara later, without noise, without show. Their home became warm again, the twins laughed again, and for the first time in a long time. Chibuzor rested. Back to Oluchi's home. Oluchi tried to talk to Chinenye again. She called her one afternoon, voice low. "Chinenye, I'm not okay." Chinenye replied quickly, cheerful. "Ah, Oluchi, you are enjoying. Don't start." Oluchi swallowed pain. "I'm not enjoying, Chinenye. Something is wrong." Chinenye laughed awkwardly. "Stop it. Rich men are just dramatic." Oluchi's voice broke. "He changes at night. He gets angry fast. He beats me. He scares me." Silence. Then Chinenye sighed and said, "My sister, manage. That's marriage." Oluchi froze. "Manage what?" Chinenye's voice dropped. "Do you think my own is perfect?" Oluchi went silent. Chinenye continued, like she had been waiting to confess. "My husband shouts a lot. Sometimes he throws things. I've had to hide bruises with makeup." Oluchi's chest tightened. "And you're smiling online?" Oluchi whispered. Chinenye laughed bitterly. "Do you want people to laugh at me? The soft life is not for weak." Oluchi's stomach turned. The truth began to unfold. She spoke to another friend, Grace, who always posted luxury vacations. Grace confessed she hadn't slept peacefully since she married. "I developed high blood pressure," Grace whispered. "My doctor warned me. But I can't leave. People will say I failed." Another friend, Ifunanya, confessed her health had changed too. Constant headaches, anxiety, fear. Oluchi realized the soft life they advertised was often a performance. And behind that performance were women silently drowning. That was when Oluchi began to understand. Not all that glitters is gold. Sometimes it's just polish on pain. Then the incident that changed Oluchi permanently happened on a Sunday evening. Obiora returned angry. He accused her of disrespect because she didn't answer his call immediately. Oluchi tried to explain. "My phone was charging. I didn't hear it ring." Obiora's eyes were wild. "You didn't hear?" he mocked. "So you are suddenly deaf?" Oluchi stepped back. "Obiora, please!" He shoved her. She fell against the wall. She tried to stand, shaking. He struck her again and again, fast, furious, like a storm. Oluchi covered her face, begging him to stop. In the chaos, a heavy blow landed near her left side. A loud ringing filled her head. Then, silence on one side. When she stood later, trembling, she realized something terrifying. Her left ear was not hearing clearly anymore. She turned her head. "Say it again," she whispered. Obiora stared at her, breathing hard. Then he laughed coldly. "Now you will be obedient," he said. From that day, people had to stand more to her right side to talk to her properly. And with that injury came something else. Oluchi's spirit began to break. Obiora's downfall came suddenly, like the end of a song. One evening, a new group of security men entered the compound. Not Obiora's men, official men, serious men. They had papers, they had authority, they searched, they found things. Oluchi sat frozen in the living room, heart pounding. Obiora came downstairs shouting, "Do you know who I am?" One officer replied calmly, "We know who you are. That's why we are here." Oluchi watched as Obiora tried to call someone. The call did not help. He tried to smile. He tried to threaten. It didn't work. When they let him out, Oluchi felt no love, no tears, only relief mixed with fear and shame, because the world would now know. Then she made up her mind to return to the peaceful home she had left. Oluchi left that house with one small bag. No designer boxes, no pride, just tears. She came to Chibuzor's new address through someone. When she arrived, she stood at the gate like a stranger. Her heart was beating like a drum. She knocked. A woman opened the door, beautiful, calm, simple. "Good evening," the woman said politely. Oluchi swallowed hard. "Please, I'm looking for Chibuzor." The woman's eyes narrowed slightly. "Who are you?" Oluchi's voice broke. "My name is Oluchi." The woman paused and stepped back slightly. "Chibuzor," she called. The twins appeared first. They were taller now. Their hair was neatly done. Their uniforms looked crisp. They stopped when they saw Oluchi. Adaeze stared. Adana held her sister's hand. "Mummy?" Adaeze whispered, uncertain, like a memory. Oluchi collapsed to her knees. "My babies!" she cried. They didn't run to her. They didn't hug her. They just watched, confused, guarded, wounded. Chibuzor came out. He froze. His face didn't show hatred. It showed distance. Oluchi crawled forward slightly. "I'm sorry," she sobbed. "I made a mistake. Please. I came back." Chibuzor inhaled slowly. He looked at her ear. He saw her thinness. He saw the fear in her eyes. He saw the woman she used to be, buried under regret. He spoke gently, but firmly. "Oluchi, I prayed for you. I worried for you. But you left." Oluchi cried. I know. Chibuzor nodded. "I moved on," he said softly. "Not because I stopped loving you quickly, but because I had children to raise. I couldn't wait for someone who chose to abandon us." Oluchi shook, sobbing harder. "And now, I'm married," he added. Oluchi looked at the woman by the door. Amara. The woman's hand rested calmly on the twins' shoulders, protective, gentle. Oluchi's chest tightened as she realized someone else had done what she refused to do: stay. She turned back to Chibuzor. "Please," she begged, "even if you don't want me, let me at least be in my children's life." Chibuzor was silent for a long moment. Then he nodded slowly. "For the girls," he said, "you can be part of their life. But this house is no longer yours." Oluchi lowered her head and cried like a child. Not because she didn't get him back, but because she finally understood. Some regrets arrive late, and they don't negotiate. Oluchi didn't die. She didn't vanish. Her punishment was more realistic. She lived. She lived with the memory of what she threw away. She began counseling, healing, learning patience. She rebuilt herself slowly. And each time she saw Chibuzor's peaceful home with Amara, she remembered the truth. Soft life without peace is not a blessing. It is a trap. And that was how Oluchi, once admired, once envied, became a living lesson to every woman who believes money is the only proof of success. Moral of the story. This story reminds us that not every beautiful life is built on wealth, and not every quiet home is empty of greatness. Oluchi's journey shows how comparison can slowly poison contentment, how pressure from society can drown gratitude, and how impatience can make us abandon what is still growing. True wealth is not always loud. Sometimes it looks like peace, patience, and a partner who stays when life is still unfinished. Soft life without peace quickly turns into a cage, and power without love becomes a threat. What we admire from a distance may be hiding pain behind polished smiles, and what we complain about at home may be the very thing that would have sustained us in the storm. In the end, this tale teaches that choices carry weight, and some decisions cannot be undone. Love, once neglected, may move on, and when it does, regret becomes the price of impatience. Not all losses are loud. Some are quiet lessons that follow us for a lifetime.
Thank you so much for watching this beautiful story, guys. If this story touched you, then it wasn't just a story, it was a mirror. A reminder that the loudest life is not always the happiest, and the richest home is not always the safest place to be. Before we envy other people's display, we must ask what it truly costs to live that life. Now tell me, do you believe Oluchi deserved forgiveness? Would you have made the same choice under pressure? And have you ever considered that something you once envied was hiding a painful truth? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters here. This is African Tales by Imade, where every story is more than entertainment. It is a lesson wrapped in culture, emotion, and truth. Until the next tale, choose wisely, because not every door that shines is meant to be opened. Bye, guys!